Look who made it to my channel. Hello, my name is Hiba. Nice to meet you and welcome back to my very famous channel. I am a makeup content creator on Instagram and I think I post quite regularly, and I have been posting for about 2 years now. Over these 2 years, I've learned a lot about lighting, and I've messed up and learned through trial and error. I've invested in lights that were a waste of my money, lights that were terrible quality, and lights that didn't really do anything for me and didn't actually work. So 2 years later, and I finally have a lighting setup that I genuinely feel works for me and I'm actually enjoying and vibing with. Before going in and showing you guys exactly what lights I have and how I've placed them and everything, I think it is very, very important for me to mention that all of these lights that I've purchased were an informed and conscious investment on my end. Some of the lights that I bought are a little expensive, I'm not going to lie. However, I bought them knowing that content creation is something that I want to pursue long term, and whatever investment that I'm going to be making in my production shoot, I want that to be of good quality so that I don't have to run into, malfunctions, or I want things that are good quality and I don't want to keep going back and buying things. So I did my research, I saved up my money, and I invested in these lights. Do you need these lights? Absolutely not. I feel like I kind of went a little overboard with some of these lights, and the reason for that is because I didn't have enough knowledge going into purchasing these lights. Even though I did my research, I thought that I needed them. And of course, there's pros and cons to everything. So although these are very good lights, I will go into the cons of them as well. And you don't need to spend a lot of money on your lighting setup. But of course, there's alternatives and there's more affordable alternatives. However, regardless of that, I will still be sharing exactly how I set up my lights, and here we go. So on a regular, every time I film content, I use approximately 4 to 5 different lights. I know that sounds like a lot, but hold on, I will show you and explain to you exactly why this happens. So first things first, let's talk about my background lights, okay? What are those? So my background lights are actually called floodlights, and they come in pairs. They come with a remote control like this, and as you can see, there's a lot of different settings for this. You can make it go flash, you can change it to all of these colored options here. For example, we got blue here. You can have them in 2 different colors, or you could match the colors together, or whatever that you want, So you can play around with this as much as you'd like. Let's go back to our original color. There we go. So you guys, this is what the floodlight looks like. This is the one that I have purchased. I got this from Amazon, but keep in mind I live in Toronto, so I got this from Amazon Canada. So in relation to my face, it's a little bit bigger than that, and it's actually quite bright, and this remote does have an option for brightness as well. It does have a little stand at the back and a plug-in point. You pull out the stand and I put it like this on the floor, just like that, and that's one. I have 2. I did take a look at RGB floodlights in India on Amazon India, and they did give me a few options. They range from about 300, 400 to maybe 1,000 MRP, and just by the looks of it, they seemed that they weren't built very well. Other content creators who bought these lights said that they actually didn't have a proper plug and it was just loose wires at the end. So I would recommend, take that to the electrician and get that fixed properly and only then use that. But there are not a lot of options on Amazon India. However, there are options, and even if it's short term, I think 300, 400 is fine, whatever. Just it's a background light, and if it works, it works, and it does work for a lot of people. So the second light that I use, and this one I don't use all the time, is this one right here. Now, this is basically a clip that clips on to my table that I have right in front of me, and it has a ring light. It's not a very big ring. It's literally like, a teeny tiny ring. This little ring light actually has the option to brighten it, to reduce the brightness. It has a warm tone, a white tone, so it actually switches color. Let me show you on my face. Warm, white, ding, ding, ding. So it has 3 settings like that. I like to keep it on both the warm and white. I keep this ring light on my table, and depending on if I'm clicking pictures or videos, or if I want it to be super bright or not bright, I can move this ring light close and far. But honestly, this is not a necessary thing. This is just a luxury. I did not actually go out and buy this. This is something that was just lying around in the house. My mom had it and I'm just using it. If it were up to me, I wouldn't actually go out and buy this on my own, but it is what I'm using currently because I had it, so I'm showing it to you. So I've shown you 3 lights, 2 of my floodlights and my ring light. Time for the last 2. For my main light, which is known as a key light, I use LED light panels. All right, now this was my biggest investment in light. Note that I also got these lights from Amazon Canada. I will link them down below. Let's show you these lights. So this is my LED light panel. This is what it looks like. Let me zoom out a little for you. And yeah, basically this also mounts onto the table. Please excuse my mess, but it does mount onto the table. There is no stand for it. So the pro of this is that it's very space efficient. However, the con of this is that you're limited to having these lights like mounted on a table. So if I'm filming for makeup, it's perfect, but if you're doing other things like fashion content, I feel like it would be more challenging. And I have 2 of these. These came in a set. So I have one here and I have one here. This also does have an option to be powered by a battery. I actually just plug it in, but you could actually make this portable and use batteries. It also comes with multiple different settings. Right now my brightness is at 27%, and what you were seeing me film at was 27%. These are very, very bright lights. I am using a white light here. However, you can obviously change it up. Let me show you. So this is my hand, and if I increase the brightness to 100%, this is how bright it will be versus the 27%, which it was at earlier. 27. This is how it was. So it's insanely bright. This does have the option to change into different tones as well. Yellow light, white light, neutrals, everything. So it's really versatile and honestly has made, you know, making my videos a lot easy. But like I said, it is expensive. So, you know, you have to be mindful of where your money is going. Another thing that I did, guys, is I actually added this little panel. Now, if you don't know what this is, I actually got this from the grocery store, and this is a very, very DIY thing that I did here. I'm using this as a reflector. So this is the front of the LED panel, and basically the inside of that reflector is silver. I got this from the grocery store. I actually got fish in that, and I cleaned that obviously, and I have taped that on the side of my lights so that it reflects the light and directs it to me, and I'm basically sitting right there. So just to get a better idea of size, both of these panels are just a little bit bigger than this scale over here. So they are quite large, they are quite bright, and you know, you're lit basically. Like I said before, do you really need these LED panels? Like, I would still say that, you know, go for the floodlights because it does add a lot of character to your background, and you know, you can switch it up and change the vibes. Like, hello, I'm green now. Hello, how cool is that, you know? This is a good investment, but like in terms of lights, I feel like just be mindful. And now that I have used these lights a lot, yes, they're great lights, and yes, it's good quality. I just don't like the fact that they're mounted on the table only. So, you know, if I ever feel like making a fashion video, I won't be able to do that very easily, and I'd have to really put my brain into figuring out how to utilize these lights. If I personally did not go for these panels, I would go for a nice big ring light instead and place it in the center right over here, and I feel like it'll light it up just as well. Okay, so I have now shown you all the lights lights that I use, I will link them down below as well. But now I think it's time to show you guys the distance and ratio of where I place these lights. To explain it to you, let me just make a little drawing. Okay, so here's my drawing showing you exactly how my lights are placed. I guess I'm just gonna put a scanned picture of this right here and explain to you exactly how it is. Basically, I'm sitting right in the center of my table, and my table is approximately 1 meter wide, and that's where my LED panels are, and they're both coming in from both ends of the table facing towards me, if that makes any sense. The second light that I have is my ring light, which is approximately like 2, sometimes 3 feet away from my face when I'm filming. It's not always on, I only use it once in a while. Okay, so next up are my RGB floodlights. So I'm sitting half a meter away from my wall, okay? So that's the space between me and my white wall. These RGB lights are basically a meter away from me from both sides. So a meter from my right is my first RGB, and a meter from my left is my second RGB light. I've placed both of these lights very, very close to the wall, and I face them at a 45-degree angle, so the lights reflects off the white wall, and it changes the color and it changes the entire background because it reflects the best. If you move these RGB lights a little closer and away from the wall, they're going to start showing their colors on your face instead, and then your makeup or whatever you're doing will be interrupted by different colored lights. So this is how it works for me. I really hope this made sense, because I mean just look at this. I hope I helped, is all I'm gonna say. Anyway, you guys, I hope you learned something from this. I hope this helped you guys a lot. This was so requested. If you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like and give it a big fat thumbs up. Also, don't forget to leave your comments if you have any questions or concerns or suggestions. Myself and whoever else will read the comments would appreciate that very much. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And to know exactly when I drop these videos, hit that bell notification and you will know. All the products will be listed in the description. I have also included a link for a nice big ring light as an alternative to the LED panels in case you guys wanted to take a look at that. But this is my lighting. This is how it's working for me. I learned this through a lot of trial and error, so it might not be perfect, but it seems to be working for me. And if I learn more and evolve my lighting game, I will keep you guys updated here on my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys so much. Take care and be safe. Bye!